So what's up guys, today is a tutorial about fireworks because fireworks are cool, I guess. We're gonna start off by deleting the cat because we don't want the cat, usually. If you do, well, I guess. And we're gonna name sprite firework, uh, creating it. Like creating it and then naming it firework. And then what you're going to do is you are going to draw in a tiny, 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 tiny circle. I may make it smaller later on, but I'm actually going to make this fit this like square into these 2x2 tiles because I like it at that size. It just approximately has to be around there. It doesn't have to be, actually there. And my mouse sound might be a little louder today because I'm trying to record on a different computer, but don't mind that. I'm just gonna, do as regularly. When green flag is clicked, you want to hide because you don't want your main thing to show. And we're gonna, clone things. Oh, by the way, I don't remember if I said it, but this project is gonna be shared in my account on Scratch. So there's gonna be a link in the description below to my studio, which this project isn't probably gonna be shared. Just you could link to my account from my studio, cause yeah, go to Creator tab. I will be the creator, I think. Anyways, I don't know that exactly because I don't use my main studio that much. But for this, you actually need a pen extension because we gotta do some few tricks to make this thing look better. But generally, we're gonna use clones. So, like, I've thought about if I'm gonna do like 100% pen or like half penish. Like, this is not 100% pen, but sort of. And then we're gonna create a variable, name it P. For this sprite only, that's why I am putting an underscore. You don't have to, but it's a lot efficient because now you know like which variables are for the sprite only and like some are like not for the sprite only, like for all sprites. Anyways, you're gonna set our P to true, meaning that this sprite is a parent sprite. This is very important or your game will not work. Trust me. And then now what we like, yeah, it's clone. Uh, no, I did not spell that right. Clone count, and then you can make this for all sprites, or more like you have to. And then, yeah, set clone count to 0, and then, that should be good for now. So let's create a new sprite, name it Rocket, or like Rocket, Trail, more like. But short names are always good, so let's name it Rocket. And then this time what you're going to do is create a slight gray ball. But this time I am actually, oh god, I'm going to make it half the size of this square. So approximately the middle, but a bit bigger because, yeah. And then I'm gonna, go ahead and go to event schedule when green flag is clicked. We always start with that. Not always, but usually, yeah. And then we're gonna get a hide, cause yeah. And then we're gonna get a wait few seconds, like 0.2 seconds. I thought 0 might be good, but 0.2 is I think might be better. We're just waiting for this code to run through. And then, yeah, but I think given a bit of delay wouldn't really affect much and it's more stable, I guess. And then let's get a wait until not mouse down. So this is getting ready to actually launch the rocket so we can explode the firework. Forever, we're going to wait until, and a block and an equal sign and a mouse down. We're gonna put the mouse down in the one right here. And then for the equal sign, oh no, actually, let's not do equal sign. Equal sign's fine, but I think this is gonna be better. And so if clone count is less than 300, if you've been doing Scratch for enough time, you will know that 300 is the Scratch clone limit. And then it won't clone any more than 300 clones. So let's get a go to negative 180 for the Y position. For the X position, we're going to do pick, or actually, let's try this. Mouse X divided by 100. This should look good. Or you could do a bit less, like 80. I don't really know what's gonna happen yet, but you know, yeah, point towards mouse pointer. But I do sort of know what's gonna happen, not 100%. That's what I mean. So now let's set our. We have to actually create a new variable, y velocity, and then let's check that for the sprite only. So we're going to set our y velocity to 1 to start off, and then we're gonna actually show this thing so it looks like a rocket is actually shot up in the sky. And then let's clear graphic effects because we really don't want graphic effects. And then we're going to repeat 10 times pick random 24 to 28. We cannot use clone in this sprite because we want to give all the clone limit possible to the fireworks sprite. So I tried not to use clones, and then yeah, this is what I got. So let's start by changing our y velocity by something like 0.6. 0.6 is really good. And then we're going to change our x. So there you go, change our x by pick random negative 2 to 2. And then what you're going to do is if, if equals, let's go to operators, get a pick random 1 to 2 equals 1. Then we're going to go ahead and change our x by pick random negative 3 to 3. We want this wiggly action, it'll look a lot better. And then we want a stamp after it moves. We want more movement. And then we're going to move y velocity step after the if statement. And then what we're going to do is go hide. And then we're going to broadcast explode and wait. That should be all the codes for the sprite. So let's go back to our firework. And then now what you're going to do is when I receive explode, and we're going to check if equals parent is true. We have to check if this is a parent sprite or a clone sprite that is currently on the screen. We do not want to allow clones to do this, because if so, then your game's like gonna have reached a clone limit in no time. You won't be able to launch your second rocket without it. So this is very important. So let's now set our color effect to pick random 1 to an insanely high value. Doesn't really matter how many zeros, just has to be insanely high value. This will just set the basic color palette of the rocket. Now let's create a block named clone. You have to check run without screen refresh, or your firework is gonna go weird. I can show you what I mean later on. So now let's get a repeat loop. Let's repeat 100 times. Let's change our clone count by 1 each time we create a clone, because that's what clone count is for. And then what we're going to do is when I start as a clone, we're going to set our parent to false, because it's not a parent sprite. And then we're going to create a new variable, name it vel, which stands for velocity. And then we're going to set our velocity to 0.1 to 3. So yeah, you can technically make that a bit lower, but I recommend that. Or what you could try is do pick random to 2 to 3, like so. This will make it so the sparks will more stay in the middle. Or what you could try is 0.1 and then like 1. This will make it so they stay more like outside. I can show you what I mean a bit later when we finish it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to change our color effect by pick random 1 to 10. So this will basically make it so it'll change a tiny bit from our basic color palette. You can actually make that 20 if you want to. But I'm going to stay in the middle of those two value, 15. The greater you do, bit weirder it's going to get, but the middle value is the best. I'm not saying that 15 is the best. You guys can find your own value. Now we have to set our new variable, old size, for this sprite only. We're going to set our old size variable to pick random. Let's say 90 to 110. We want a tiny bit of change. And then we're going to set our size to our old size. And then we're going to go to this rocket sprite. So rocket. And then we are going to point in direction. Pick random 1 to 360. This will make it so it'll point it to a random direction toward like any direction. So let's get a show block, and then we need this reset timer. That is actually very important. And then let's get a repeat 50 times change color effect. So right there, change color effect by 0.6. And now let's set our size to 1000%. And then move velocity steps. If you want to know why we are setting our size to 1000% is because if the firework goes off from like a bit edge-ish place, it'll like the sparks will hit the walls and then drag down like that. But if we have that, it'll just go through the wall, won't make the dirty line. We don't want that line. Now let's go to motion, get a change Y by. Let's change our Y by let's see, timer times -1. Okay, and then we can set our size back to our old size, so it looks like actual firework. And then we're going to set our Y velocity, Y velocity underscore for this sprite only. We're going to set our Y velocity to a negative value. In this case, I'm going to do like 1.84. That looks good. And then what we're going to do is repeat 60 times, like so. And then we're going to set our velocity right there to multiple of our velocity times 0.98, sort of like that. So it decreases very, very slowly. And then what we're going to do is set our size to 1000 again. And then we're going to move velocity steps and then change our Y by Y velocity steps. There you go. I mean, there's no steps, but you know, get what I mean. Now we're going to change our Y velocity by negative 0.1, and then we're going to change our ghost effect by a tiny bit. In this case, I'm going to do like 1, 2, 4. And then we're going to set our size back to our old size. And then we can wait a tiny bit, like 0.2 seconds or so, and then we can change our clone count by -1, like so. And then after we do change that, we totally hide the clone and then delete it right away. So like that. And then when I start as a clone, forever stamp. Pretty cool. And then now what we're gonna do is create a new sprite, and then you can name this sprite like a backdrop. Oops. Backdrop. There you go. And now we can convert it to bitmap, and then get the filling bucket and make it very dark. I'm not gonna make it totally black, but you could also like do squares, but I feel like this. So yeah, and then now we're gonna make it so it goes to 0 and a 0, like so. And then when green flag is clicked, forever go to 0, 0, and then set ghost effect. There you go, to 85, something like that would be nice. And then let's make it so it goes to the back layer. And then we can stamp, and then boom, that is our project done. So click the green flag, and then now, ooh, is that a delay? Or is it just not working some reason? Let's look at our clone count variable. Oh, it's not even cloning. So, okay, that's it. Okay, that's why. So we need a clone right there. Okay, sorry. And then now it should be working pretty nice. Now, you do sort of see that. Yeah. That looks good. So, yeah, that is how you do that. But here is the problem. Now what you see is these like stamped stuff. You like so. You see a bunch of stamps. What you want to do is let's just make it so it's you know what? It's fine. So let's run. There you go. It's pretty nice. But if you really want to hide it though, what you can do is sort of like erase all right there. Or right there actually. Doesn't really matter. I feel like that is a better spot. So yeah, that is basically how you make fireworks in Scratch. Oh, and then let's test out the thing. So, oh yes, this basic color palette. Was it? Anyways, that's a basic color palette. Like, it just chooses the basic color palette. You know? Yeah. What was I gonna do at the end? Okay, so I guess the rocket exposition thing is not really working. So I guess I'm gonna make that like 30, maybe see if that's better. No, it's still staying in one spot, which is weird. So I guess that isn't working. So now what we're gonna do is pick random -50 to 50, and then now it should start moving. No, that was the last spot. Now let's see. That's still the spot. Oh, that is weird. Oh, maybe it's because of the explode thing. Anyways, we've waited plenty of time. Yeah, now that changed. We gotta wait a tiny bit, and then now it'll change. I think that's changed. No, it's not. But anyways, that is how you make fireworks system. Cool. So thank you guys for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and the like button if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, then still hit the subscribe button and the like button. That'll help me a lot. If you don't get what I mean, just hit the subscribe button and like button. And then see you in my next tutorial. Peace.